Hey guys, what's up? It's Kendall again and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, my name is Kendall. I do videos all things makeup, beauty, and life, so if that's something you're interested in, go ahead and hit the subscribe button to hang out with me every week. The palettes I'm using today, guys, real simple, real easy. This is the Khaki Calling Morphe 9K palette. I know, a Morphe palette in 2025. Who is she? She's an affordable babe. So this one has the greens, the browns, we have one dark shade in here. We also have the shimmers going on. This is a really great palette if you like to play around with the greens. So if you have hazel eyes, Also, the 18CT Morphe Essentials palette, I use this a bunch in my videos, but this is a really good affordable palette if you're looking for something that has all your neutrals in it, as well as something that you can just quickly grab every day and throw on a makeup look and head out the door. So this is a good grab as well. For today's look, we're going to be doing something really, really fun. I just kind of want to show you guys that these looks are a lot more achievable than you would think. So let's go ahead and hop into today's video. I just want to quickly mention that my lids are primed and prepped. And what I mean by that is I have my brows done and then I always cut out my brows with concealer. So I have concealer as my primer and then prepped with powdered setting powder. I just use my regular powder I use on my face just to kind of get it set so then the shadows move much easier along your base. That's going to be a secret to doing more bold or intense makeup looks. You always want to make sure you have a powder down so the shadows just move a lot more smoother than if you were just to go in on just your lid. I'm going to be using the greens obviously in this palette, as you can tell by the thumbnail, going in with the darkest color first. Because I want you guys to just kind of watch me do this, it's going to be less of a talking video today and more of just like, hey, watch how I do this, because I just want to show you, you can absolutely do this, okay? You can do it. I promise you, you can do it if you just sit down and try. Starting out with the cut crease on this look today, guys, I have hooded eyelids. So as you can see, I'm going a little bit above where that crease is in my eye. Otherwise, I lose the eyeshadow within my eyelid. So, story of my life, if you're new here on my channel, I have hooded eyelids and I will never stop talking about it. But I'm just taking a really pointed brush that's real small, real precise, and taking that dark green color and going from the inner corner all the way through the arch into like a little bit past the middle of your eye. And this is where we're just going to build that color until we get it where you want. Now remember, we are going to cut this out later with some concealer. So make sure you're getting that point as dark as you possibly want it, because it's easier to add more to it now before you cut it out than afterwards, because then it's kind of erasing your cutout that you do later, if that makes sense. Using the foundation that you're going to use this day, go in and cut your lid with this. And what I mean is that you really want to use your foundation so then the cut really matches in to your skin tone later. You could even use a lighter color or a concealer. It doesn't matter, but that's just a preference of mine. For cutting out, I do like to take some of that excess product and place it on my lid far away from the cut first, just so I don't get too much product up near the actual cutting out of the eyeshadow. That's what I mean when I say cutting the eyelid. I mean we're cutting out the eyeshadow with concealer to get a really nice, clean, sharp line. I'm going back and forth with a little bit of that product, going in and using the tip end of a flat brush to get up into the cut and carve out the nicest line that I could possibly get. Now we want to buff this out with that lighter green shade, and I'm using the Morphe M362 brush. This brush is really meant for like an eyeliner, but I needed a brush that's really small because I don't want to blend out this shadow too much into my eyebrow. I just want it to be a nice soft green line. So I am taking that light shade and just going over what I have already put down on my lid. I am just blending this out, making it really, really soft. Once you have that nice and blended out, I did decide to go back in with another palette. This is just a mini palette that I have in my collection. Taking a really light green color, I'm going to blend this out just a little bit more to get more of an ombre effect. I'm using a different brush here. I forget the number of the brush, but it is a flatter brush. Just any small brush will work as long as you're not blending too much into that eyebrow again. You do just want to blend out the top to get an ombre effect, and that's just kind of like the dark going into the lighter shade. And everything's about blending, guys. I say it in every single one of my videos. I can't stress it enough. Blend, blend, blend. If you think it looks horrible, literally just blend a little bit more. Now we're going to make sharp wings, baby. Use tape, any kind of tape, scotch tape, makeup tape, whatever tape you have laying around the house. You're going to use this to create that sharp winged look. It's a cheat code, okay? You're welcome. No gatekeeping here. But we're doing the same exact eyeshadow steps as we did on the crease, just on our wing now. So I'm taking that same really small pointed brush with that dark green color, going up against the tape. Act like you're creating a wing, but don't be afraid to kind of get a little bit messy and get it on the tape and whatnot, because as I said, tape's coming off, right? Get it all over. Don't be afraid of that, but you really want to focus on the details up above the tape. That is where you're going to want that ombre effect to take place on the lid and in your wing. So after you finish that, you're going to go in with your concealer, your foundation, whatever you decided to use, and you're just going to kind of fix up, fine tune that concealer, really make sure everything is laying nice and crisp, and we get ready for the next step. With our Morphe palette, taking this white color, we're going to pack this into the lid everywhere you just put concealer. So I like to pat it in and then wipe it across. That way I get the most pigment, because the Morphe palettes aren't the most pigmented palette, but they do what they need to do. You just need to give her some extra love. So pat that all across the lid, and I even went in between the two green colors to really make the wing pop even more. Now the most satisfying part of peeling that tape off and seeing how sharp your wing is. Yeah, you're welcome, girl. Going in with the e.l.f. waterproof eyeliner pen, making the thinnest, thinner than thin eyeliner across your top lid until you meet where that green shadow starts. This is just going to make our wing melt in a lot more easy and give the eye more like of that bold, intense, like dramatic look. It's not a Glam with Kendall look without our 24/7 waterline pencil by Urban Decay. I live, laugh, love this product. It's always in all of my looks. But after that, we're going to go in and put on some mascara on our top lashes to get ready for the full lash. When it comes to any type of lash strip, this is really trial and error. You just have to kind of play with them until you figure out how to put them on and what works for you. Everyone puts them on differently. Some people like to use tweezers. Some people just use their fingers. Some people use other tools. Some people cut their lashes and do it in chunks. You just have to figure out what you like and just play around with them. And then I promise you, it will literally be like second nature. Okay guys, this is where the look really comes to life. It's when we throw on our base, put on some powders, and then we finish up underneath the eyes. I'm not going to show you how I do my base. If you want that routine, go ahead and let me know down below in the comments. If you like this video so far, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to my channel. But let's go ahead and throw on this base and then really make the eyes pop with finishing up this eye. Okay, base is done, hair is done, which thank God. But underneath the eye for this look, I want to keep it very minimal. So let's go ahead and finish up the eye and then we'll do a lip. Taking that lighter shade green, I am taking my smallest eyeshadow brush and going right by the lash line and just buffing the green out underneath the eyes. I don't want it to be full on smoky. I just want a little touch of green under the eye just to really bring everything in together. After that, go ahead and pop on some mascara on the bottom lashes. This is also going to make that green color pop. Taking the MAC lip pencil in the color Whirl and the lipstick in the shade Cream Cup, I'm going to be lining my lips. The way that I like to line my lips is taking that liner pencil, make sure it is as sharp can be. And then I just kind of trace the lines of my lips, but since the lines of my lips are super light, I try to go just above and kind of shape my lip how I want them to look. And I find that it really is helpful going from the middle of your lip to the outer kind of inner like crease where you open your mouth, if that makes sense. But going from the inside, like middle out to the outside of your lip, that really helps make your lips look more plump in my opinion. And then just taking that lipstick right over to kind of complete the look. I love MAC lip products. They will be on sale this Saturday at Ulta, just saying. Y'all, this is the final look. I'm super happy with how it came out. I think it is fantastic. I think the eyes are just popping for me. The lip goes perfectly. We're figuring out that lip game, girl. Finally. Thank God. Let me know what you think of today's look down below in the comments. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss another video with me. And that's going to do it, guys. I will see you in the next one. Love ya.